honestly, that's what really makes the game stand out. In Genesis, I don't just lay my cards on the table in a line and imagine a battle going back and forth. I get to place my creatures onto a playmat, and then they move around a grid, tactically, one at a time. Kinda like chess. I pick a piece and I move it, then my opponent picks one of theirs and then they move it. And the goal the whole time is we're both actively thinking about the battle. We're trying to put our creatures into a position where they can attack the enemy without getting hit back in response. And of course, being a collectible card game, we both always have the potential to have some really powerful magic spells in our hand with some other cool cards that we can cast at a moment's notice and surprise the opponent to turn the battle in our favor. Now there are a ton of other really cool aspects of Genesis that I could talk about, but I'm just going to give you a couple quick highlights. First and foremost, Genesis Battle Champions is a more affordable alternative for a collectible card game. The people behind Genesis Battle Champions are former local game store owners, which means they know what it's like to be building up a gaming community and see their players come in and struggling week after week to keep up with so many products coming out and the price is constantly going up. That's why Genesis Battle of Champions currently only releases 1 to 2 major expansions per year. They want their players to have more time to enjoy the products that they have and be able to spend less time worrying about how they're going to be able to afford all of the new products coming out next. So if you're ready to experience the next evolution in collectible card games, ask your local game store to start carrying Genesis Battle of Champions, and you can start enjoying a higher level of gameplay with a lower hit on your wallet. Oh, so you've been playing collectible card games your whole life and you think you got it all figured out, do you? You started off with the pocket monsters, then you worked your way up to that game with all the wizards. Now you're even dabbling in something extra fabulous, and you think you know all there is to know. Well, not yet, you don't. Because Genesis Battle of Champions is here, and this game brings collectible card games into a whole new dimension. Experience more freedom during deck building. Every card in Genesis is rated on a scale from 3 to 8, and you've got 250 points to spend while building your deck however you want. Be super consistent, use nothing but 4s, 5s, and 6s, and always get a fairly reliable hand. Swing for the fences, load up with some amazing 7 and 8 power cards, and balance your deck out with some 3s and 4s to stay under the point limit. Discover for yourself just how much fun deck building can be when you don't have a 4-card limit holding you back. Now you can finally build all those types of crazy decks you've always dreamed of building. Genesis Battle of Champions is a rare type of collectible card game that can change the way you think about collectible card games. With its evolutionary new style of deck building allowing you more freedom and creativity while putting less limits on the individual cards you choose from, that's game-changing. And thanks to the unique tabletop grid-based combat system found in Genesis, players discover that there's a whole new level of strategy and tactics involved when you compete in a battle. In Genesis, you don't just play your cards, you lead them to victory.
Legend has it, we could be legends, etched in the stone, forever on thrones. History's made in the moments. Heroes collide, it's all on the line with our backs against the wall. We came to fight. We came to take what was meant to be ours. There's no place to hide. Yeah, it's written all over stars. Nothing will stop us.
Hello everyone. Please let us know if you can hear us because OBS did this silly thing again and reset all our settings.
Boo! Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you there?
I hope so. It would be refreshing if it worked good the rest of the night, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put a little extra light on here too while we're at it. Just because it's a little...
Oh, there's no light bulb.
Oh, there's no light bulb in there.
Sam
That's why it's
stole it.
dark. Because our kid stole the light bulb. All right. Okay, good. It looks like people can hear. Well, been a while, hasn't it?
Very long.
Feels like it.
I know, we're way out of practice on this.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't help we get home later lately.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you've been diligently working on...
I sure have.
...the game.
Mm-hmm.
And
meaning which game?
The online version.
That's right. Yes, I have.
And I've been working on OP stuff.
Yeah, in fact, we've both been doing a little bit of OP stuff lately.
Well, I was just talking about stuff I've been doing because you have been doing the bulk of the work on the game because me and coding don't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
And so I leave that in your capable hands.
So what do you say we catch people up on all the stuff that's been going on since we last talked to them?
Okay, what is it?
What is it?
You tell... Well, I always get in trouble for saying stuff I'm not supposed to, and we didn't write anything down before we started.
Mm-hmm. Well, that would go back to the fact that we get home later. So.
Yes.
And to be honest, I was editing a video right up until about 10 to 8 tonight. Because for some of you who may be aware, we were down at Mecha Games, which is in
St. Catharines.
That's right.
On Ontario Street.
That's right, 370 Ontario Street, Mecha Games. We were there because once again they held another one of their 3-day Mecha Mini Cons, which they love to feature a whole bunch of games. And we were there on Sunday doing demos of Genesis Battle of Champions. We got to meet a few new people who we hadn't met before. Definitely created a few new players.
Yeah, and converted some wizards.
Indeed. Perhaps one or two were converted as well. It was a good day, I felt. Everybody seemed to have a really good time. And
well, why wouldn't you when you're playing Genesis?
Well, right. And we do like to go a little over the top sometimes when we go visit local game stores. So we gave away some sleeves. We gave away some promo packs. And in fact, we even gave away
some booster boxes.
Some entire booster boxes. So it pays to come out when, Janice and I are coming to town because we like to give away the fun stuff.
Yep.
And we definitely gave away a lot of fun stuff yesterday.
We did.
But you know what was my favorite thing that we gave away yesterday?
What?
Exciting news, folks.
Oh, the dad jokes are good today.
I don't know. Okay, fine. It was a bit of a dad joke. But it's true. The thing I was most excited about was we got to share some exciting news yesterday. We got to provide some updates on what's been going on, what's coming up in the future. All those kind of things. Because people want to know.
People want to know.
And we're finally at a point where we have some things, exciting things, actually happening now. Hence probably why many of you have tuned in tonight. And it's great to see you all in the chat there. Thanks for tuning in. Jeremy, you were missed, by the way. We missed you, but I totally understand. Things come up and, sometimes you forget. You told the wifey that you'd be doing something on a certain day. And not that that's ever happened to me, but, I can... Because I never forget my commitments.
Ooh, can I say...
Ooh. I have a terrible memory.
That is...
For you watching at home who don't realize, I have
total
a
and
terrible
utter
memory.
BS.
Yeah.
That's a cockapoo.
A cockapoo. Yeah, so it was a really good time. We got to share some cool news, and the neat thing was Mecha Games, they recently hired a new social media coordinator there, and he was super helpful because he went around and he recorded lots of people playing games all day. He did some pack openings. He recorded pack openings. So there's all sorts of cool little stuff as well in the video. You get a little bit of a view of the store if you haven't been, and you get to see the players who are playing. And then he was very kind and actually graciously recorded the entire announcement segment that we did. We gathered a bunch of Genesis players around. They have a really nice couch sitting area. It was several couches. Little living room vibe there. And we all sat around the couches, and I got to regale them with some exciting news. And it's all recorded. And,
so you get to see it in a secchi?
Yeah. And then that's kind of what we're going to do tonight is we're going to play the recording of all the cool information that we shared and the announcements that we made yesterday at Mecha Games. And we'll be monitoring the chat if you have any questions in the middle of it, because it does go for like 8 minutes. There was a lot of cool stuff that got announced. You got any questions during, we'll answer them in the chat. And otherwise, when the video is done, Janice and I will be right back here. And we can answer your questions live right here tonight. And hopefully we're going to get some people really excited. Because I got to tell you, I'm really excited about some fun stuff we have happening this year, 2025. Now, is there anything you'd like to say before we switch over to that video?
No, because you got everything in the video and you already said everything. So if I say anything, I'll spoil something. So press the button, play the video.
Okay. Yeah. So.
And I'll be quiet while it's playing, since you can probably hear my voice.
All right, so here we go. We'll be back in about 8 minutes or so, and I'm excited. Let's talk when we get back.
Alright guys, we have got some Genesis Invasion packs here. I opened one without you. And we did hit a holo.
Friends here. Thanks for joining us today at Mecha Games, 370 Ontario Street in St. Catharines. It's one of our favorite stores to come visit because we always have a great time playing Genesis Battle of Champions. And I'm thrilled to be here today because we get to make some very special announcements about the future of our game. And some of these announcements are actually related to this very store. It's going to be an exciting time. For those of you who aren't really familiar with the game, a couple years ago, the original manufacturers of the game wound up shutting down. My spouse Janice and I, we owned a local game store and we had a really great community there. And because of that, we went out and got the approvals and did all the hard work, and we were able to take over ownership of Genesis. And we are now at a very exciting point. We are on the cusp of fully reviving the game and bringing it back to its former glory. I am thrilled to share with everybody here that organized play will be resuming very soon in stores all across Canada and the United States. First up, I'm happy to share that we are going to be having official promo packs being shipped to stores that opt into our organized play program, which means if you go to your favorite game store, which might be Mecha Games, to play Genesis every week, that store will have free promo packs to give to you as a reward for coming out and playing every week. These promo packs are going to be filled with alternate art cards, alternate art versions of cards through our history, and maybe a couple secret surprise cards from a set that hasn't even been released yet. So it's going to be exciting. You're going to see a lot of cards from the old alpha beta era redone in our new templating, our new style, and you might even see a couple cards from our version that come out looking like alpha cards from the days of old. So that's the first announcement I'm excited to share about, is we have already forwarded the graphic files to our graphic designer. These cards are being worked on now. We anticipate them being sent out to our printer overseas in the next month or so, and then they are going to start getting printed, and we're going to be shipping promo packs to all the stores that opt into our organized play program. Now, the cool follow-up with that is you might be thinking, well, wait, what is the organized play program? And this is where it gets really exciting. In the old days with the old company, and you have to remember, Genesis has been around for a long time. There was 5 or 6 years with the old company where they slowly grew the brand, they grew the game, they got into stores all over the place, and people were going and playing every week, and eventually, every year, there was a World Championship. The last World Championship that took place in Toronto in 2022, our game store that we used to own was one of the official vendors there. It was exciting. People came from all over North America, and in fact, the crazy thing was the team that wound up winning the Genesis World Championship wasn't from North America. We had a team of 4 people fly all the way over from Germany with their super secret amazing deck tech, and they won the World Championship. And now we're getting close to the point where we're going to give people a chance to win bragging rights for a World Championship again. So this is where it gets exciting. What happened in the past was there was, and still is, a 3.5 foot tall trophy, and what would happen is the old company would host a tournament a world championship in Toronto. People would come from far and wide, they would play, and somebody would be crowned the winner. But this time, new company, new ideas, we're going to do things just a little bit different. The organized play season that is going to be beginning in the next few months, we're going to be shipping out these promo packs, as I mentioned, all these stores. But in addition to that, every store that signs up for our next season of organized play is also going to be receiving an official exclusive store champion playmat. They will get the ability to host one and only one official store championship tournament for their store. Then the top 4 players from that store championship will get invited to the invitational only World Championship. That will be happening later this year. You might be wondering when. It's going to be right around the middle of November. Final date is to be determined, but plan for the middle of November that you're going to be going, and hopefully, if you qualify at one of the stores across Canada and the States, you'll be competing to become our next world champion. Now, you might remember, too, I mentioned that new company, new ideas, we're going to do things a little bit differently. That 3.5-foot tall trophy, it still exists, and someday we might dust it off again. But for now, we've decided to put our own Edge of Exile brand and spin on this. But before I tell you what we're going to be awarding the winner this year, let me tell you where the World Championship will be happening this year. This year, I'm very pleased to announce on behalf of our company, Edge of Exile Entertainment, that the Genesis World Championship will be held in partnership with Mecha Games here in St. Catharines. There will be a Mecha Mini Con happening in the middle of November. Part of that major 3-day event will be the Genesis World Championship, where we will have a new champion crowned. So we're going to have months of organized play in stores. You're going to be able to get your cool rewards and your promo packs over time. For anybody who's watching this video later who doesn't play at Mecha Games, make sure to let your local game store know that you want to get them to sign up with us for the official organized play, because this is available to stores all across Canada and the United States. It's going to be really exciting, and as we've done ever since we took over the game a few years ago, we are always focused on fun first. We want to be the affordable card game, the fun card game, and we want to bring back that golden era of a genuine community coming together, enjoying a game together. Now that I know what you're all thinking, you're thinking, stop talking, tell me what I can win if I become the world champion. So we've got something really fun, and again, a different idea from the past, where you just had your name inscribed on a trophy. This year, my friends, can you maybe come around this way? I'd like you to get a really good view of this, if you don't mind. This year, something very special will be won for the first time ever in the new era of Genesis. Our world champion will be getting, any guesses what this is? I know you know. I'm going to show you. Our world champion for Genesis Battle Champions will be crowned and awarded the official Genesis Battle of Champions World Title Belt. That's right, we're the collectible card game where you get to compete in the battle for the belt. The 2025 World Champion will be taking this home with them and will get to keep it forever. Why? Because the next year we'll make up an even bigger and better belt, and we're going to keep going. We're going to amp up the excitement every year. But for this year, our goal is to get organized play going in stores, get stores all across Canada and the United States playing Genesis again. And again, the World Championship will be held here in St. Catharines in conjunction with Mecha Games at the Mecha Mini Con sometime in the middle of November. So, for everybody watching this video who doesn't play at Mecha Games, make sure to let your local game store know that you want to get them to sign up with us for the Genesis Organized Play. We're super fun. We're a tactical collectible card game. Imagine summoning creatures and casting spells on a 5x6 grid. It's like your perfect combination of a collectible card game and chess all together. We are taking fun to the next level. And in our silly fun way, we're going to celebrate this year the return of Genesis Battle Champions, and somebody is going to get to keep this in the battle for the belt. That's the announcement.
Awesome.
Thank you. All right. Welcome back, everyone. I see a question from Damien. Yeah, the World Championship this year, we're going to run it in November. It's going to be run as part of the Fall 2025
Mecha Mini Con.
Mecha Mini Con, which is, again, a 3-day event. Part of the reason why we wanted to make our World Championship be a part of that event is their Mecha Mini Con that they do in the fall is so big that they actually don't even host it in the store. There's a giant convention center, either
hotel across the street.
Like right across. It's really, really close. So we're going to be a part of that because it's going to be a huge space filled with tons of games, tons of exciting things going on. And we wanted to be a part of that. So, and again, each store that decides to sign up for the organized play this year, which, man, you're going to want to, because stores that sign up for the organized play, they're going to be getting a store champion play mat. It'll be the same play mat for all stores, so you can compete at your local game store whenever they host their store champion event. The top 4 players from that event all qualify automatically. So the nice thing is if you miss qualifying in the top 4 at your own local game store, you'll be able to hit up another store. Let's see, what other questions do we have? Is there a list of local game stores who have already opted into organized play? There actually isn't a list because we haven't. This is the first public announcement that we made.
We'll be reaching out to our stores on our store locator and getting them to sign up. It'll be in the next month or so. We'll be getting that set up and a start date once we know when everything's going to be ready to ship out to the stores.
Yeah, so, and to follow up on that, like I had said in the original announcement, I figure it's going to be about 2 months still till the actual promo packs land here in North America. So the official start date for the season, we're going to wait until all the stores who have signed up all get their packs at the same time. That way there's not an unfair advantage from one store to another or whatnot. Of course, all of the sets are already out anyways, so even if you didn't want to wait for the official organized play to start where you'll be getting promo packs every week, you could start playing at any time and really start deck building and planning on what you want to play this year. And again, we're not at a point where we're talking about a rotation or anything like that yet, so you can keep using all the cards that you have. So everything's good, everything's fair game.
Up and including Invasion.
Yeah, for sure. Everything that's out. Let's see. Bringing Idris again. That's a good question. So there'll be a store champion event. Well, for stores in Ontario, I'm for sure going to be offering to go to every store in Ontario that hosts a store championship this year, just to help run the events and whatnot, and be giving away some fun stuff. For stores that are farther away that I can't reach in a weekend, they're still all eligible. We will ship them everything that they need so that they can run the events. I'm sure one of the questions people are going to ask right away is, what about the judge program? Because people are going to be wondering about that. And I'm going to give you the straight up answer. The straight up answer is we didn't want to wait any longer to get organized play going. So this 1 year and this 1 year only might be a little bit of an interesting transitional year because there may be some stores that don't have an officially certified judge for Genesis there. It's just going to come down for this 1 year only we're going to depend on the stores to make sure that they have somebody knowledgeable on hand to help with the judging. And again, that's partly why I want to make sure that I'm personally there at every event that I can for any store that's going to be hosting it that I can reach, so that I can help with that kind of thing. And hopefully some of the people who have helped us being judges in the past who may be in certain regions I can't reach to, if they're still interested, hopefully they'll want to help out with that. But I know that's one of the things people are going to be wondering. So this year, rather than waiting any longer, we want to get people out. We want to keep people playing. We want to get brand new, exciting promo packs in people's hands. And we're just going to, the general rule, I think, for 2025 is we're just going to do the best we can and make sure that everybody has a great time. And then by the time 2026 rolls around, we will have our judge program fully up and running. There may be some tweaks or a slightly new edition of the rules that come out by that time in 2026. But let's just get people playing. Let's get people back in stores. Let's give people something exciting to compete for again. Let's get people something exciting to win with this battle for the belt. And one last thing. There will be, as I alluded to, there is a chance that there'll be a few cards appearing in the promo packs that are from the next set. Any cards that come out in promo packs that you get in your hand from an official event are legal. So if there happens to be a really cool whatever surprise from the next set, you just want to keep playing every week at your local game store so you got as many chances as possible to get those cool cards. And if you play on a regular basis, you should have no trouble getting as many copies as you need of whatever cards you want by the time the Store Championship, or by the time the World Championship happens in November. And then, yes, Janice here. Go ahead, maybe hold that a little closer, let them get a look. I will make sure that I put up some good photos tomorrow, probably tomorrow evening, of the belt. What?
That was fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good time. So
there's no rule against how many foils you have in your deck. Just in any Genesis game tournament, you have to have your deck sleeved, which has always been the rules. Shockwave, I love that idea of doing a refresher on rules. It's something that we'll work on to get out for everyone.
Well, and also to hopefully help a lot with the rules, we're still about a month and a half to 2 months away from having our video game release online as well, and that's got a full tutorial in it, which people will be able to play and learn the rules that way as well. So I don't know, because that's right around the same time that we're hoping to have the promo packs land here in North America. The game may or may not be available right when the organized play season starts, but it'll definitely be out long before we get to November. So that'll be an extra resource that I think, and I hope that any new game stores that start getting into Genesis this year will make sure to let other players know about it, because the whole idea of the video game for me is let's use this video game as a hassle-free way for stores to teach people how to play without tying up people to teach them how to play. So
the belt's pretty big.
Do you mind if I've never actually opened it. Do you mind if I just hold it for a second and see? Because I'm a pretty hefty guy, and I just want to guess. I might be able to guess how big it is. Oh, I'm going to say that would fit probably up to a 40-inch waist, I would say. Maybe a 38,
36.
38 to 40, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So it's a fair size.
That was your belly, not your waist, anyway. Oh, sorry.
So, thanks for that, dear.
No problem. Next to Niagara Falls, yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, St. Catharines is, what, a 15-minute drive?
Not even?
From Niagara Falls. So I'm really hoping, because we have some stores to play and sell our products in New York State and a couple of the other northern states, I wouldn't be surprised if hopefully we can get a bunch of Americans to come on over and try to steal our championship from us. Take it from us!
Yeah.
God knows Europe is currently bragging a lot, so, why not? The States can have it next. But you got to earn it. You got to come over and play and try and beat us Canadians, because it's going to be a good time. I'm very excited.
Damien, we'll have everything released within the next month or so with for the stores for the championship and organized play and all that sort of stuff sent out, and we'll make sure it's available for you guys as well to send to your stores.
Shockwave, I hate to disappoint you, but one of the things that we're going to be making really clear in our social media as we go forward is, unfortunately, there are no tariffs involved with Genesis Battle of Champions. That's right for all you Canadians out there. Yeah, well, really for everybody. Our cards don't get made in the States. Our cards don't get shipped through the States to get to Canada. So if you don't live in the United States, you will not be affected at all by the tariffs. And if you do live in the United States, there's nothing I can do about that. It wasn't us that started the tariffs, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially for Canadians, like the tariffs have really done a lot to the card pricing for sealed product for almost every game out there. So it's actually a really great time to get people to try Genesis, because the price difference between buying products of our Canadian company versus anything that's printed in the States when you live in Canada. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no tariffs is a big deal, a big helper on your wallet right now. So the championship, will there be learn to play side events? Oh no, it's going to be a big thing. We're going to have space for side events, learn to play, all that stuff will be available there too. And I'm hoping, well, I know that by November we'll definitely have some volunteers or rules people on hand to help run everything. So it's going to be as great as we can do. For anybody who was at the last World Championship, because Janice and I were there as vendors for our store, I'm confident that there's going to be more play space in the play area than there was at the hall at the, was it George Brown or something? Ryerson. Yeah, I think this one, and we don't even have to book it ourselves because we're just happy to be a part of Mecha Games and their huge mini con. So yeah, I think it's going to be really great. I'm hoping, we'll probably even invite a couple stores to. Well, I guess we'll have to work out with Mecha Games because it is their thing. But we'll see if we can even include some other stores involved in it. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Any more questions before we call it a night? I know we talked about a lot of stuff here. Promo packs coming. As I had mentioned in the video that was recorded, there's going to be cards from the old days, from Alpha, Beta, and things like that are going to get reprinted in our new templating and style. And I can guarantee you that there are going to be some cards that came out with our version in Invasion and in stuff coming in Metamorphosis that will come out, and you'll probably find some cool-looking Alpha or Rays versions of brand new cards as well. So playing in stores officially is going to be the only way to get a lot of really cool versions of cards that you won't find in packs.
Yep.
So
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Spoil a card in a promo pack.
No.
Just the name. I'll spoil a bunch of cards in the promo pack. Lots of champions are going to be in it. There's going to be, I want to say, 16 or 18 different champions throughout our history that you'll be getting access to again through the promo packs. And obviously, a lot of those cards, a lot of those older champions, because they're older, were in the old Genesis templating and format. So you're going to get access to them in our new templating. And yeah, that'll be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot of your favorite champions that you haven't been able to find are going to be available. And of course, that means legal for playing the championship.
And altered legal. Art champion things.
Yeah, I'll tell you, here's one other thing. My goal and intention is that there will not be any cards in the promo packs that are just playing cards you could get out of the booster pack.
No way, man.
Yeah. There's going to be something different about every card you open. Yeah, no, exactly. No filler. That's right.
Filler.
So if you're getting a champion card, it's either going to be a different templating than it used to be, or it's going to be an alternate art version of it, or we've got some really cool tweaks with existing arts that different color schemes and whatnot and filters, and it's going to really look cool. So every card you get out of a promo pack will not be one that you could just buy out of a normal booster pack.
No.
So I'm real excited about that.
So, and then will be, as Jay said, there'll be older cards in the new format, some staples, some things that everybody likes,
So Shockwave's asking, wait, are the errata champions, or are they how they were originally printed? So I'm not sure if you're talking, when you say the errata champions, you might be talking about those plus versions of champions. If that's what you mean, those versions aren't coming out, because what we did in Invasion and what's happening in Metamorphosis and everything else is old champions who maybe had plus versions, we tweaked them a bit and just made it a whole new version of the card. Like Kuhn is now Kayun. And things like that. So anything that got printed, and if it had an errata done where like there's a typo or whatnot, obviously we're not going to print it with the mistakes. We're going to, anything that comes out is going to come out with the text on it that you can play it the way it reads. So yeah, anything that's actually that may or may not be a factor in why certain cards get into the promo packs, because if there was a mistake and it hasn't ever been printed with a proper version, we want to get those out too to people. So,
well, we want to make sure that everyone has access to all of those champions, because we want them to live on in the future.
And then, as far as any original cards, you're asking about if things are still legal.
Yep.
Everything is legal that has always been legal. So unless something was banned that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, everything is still legal that was before. And that was kind of what I was alluding to earlier. We're not dealing with any kind of rotation at this point in the game. So if you still happen to have old copies of like classic champions from way back in the day, you can play them. And especially in regards to the champions, I can pretty much guarantee you there will be new versions coming out in the organized play with updated art or whatnot, so that everybody will have an easier time accessing those cards. Yeah. Any other questions from you folks out there? Anything you want to know about the future? Oh, I'll mention too, I'm going to shout out a couple of our content creators who have been really keeping the fires burning for us. There is Genesis John 88, who's over on YouTube, really great guy, who was also at Mecha Games. He's going to be getting some spoilers in the future, maybe from a promo pack, maybe from the next set, because not all of the next set got released. Also, he's going to be getting some cool custom videos that I'm working on for him. And the same kind of stuff is also going for our favorite dynamic duo,
Imperial Pulse.
That's right, Imperial Pulse. They've also been doing a great job keeping people remembering that Genesis is still alive and well. So there's going to be some spoilers coming their way in the near future as well. I would imagine at least 1 or 2 promo pack spoilers will be found at both of those 2 channels. So you're going to want to make sure that you keep an eye on them, because who knows when a really cool, exciting reveal might pop up. And then if there's any other awesome content creators who want to get involved, just start talking about Genesis again, and the more content you put out, the more likely that we will reach out and give you some cool exclusives to share. This may have been answered, but is the errata being updated? There's a new version of the rules talked about a while ago.
It's not going...
Well, you go for that.
It's not coming out yet. We may have it for Metamorphosis or the next set. So it won't be now. We'll be using the same rules as are printed on our website.
Yeah.
So that is not coming out before the next set. We'll keep things going.
Well, I think perhaps even more importantly, that the rules will not get changed before the World Championship happens in November.
Yeah.
So from this moment on, until the World Championship happens in November, you can start planning your decks, because everything's legal. We're not banning any cards that aren't already banned. We're not going to do any changes to the rules this year. And again, that's partly because it is a transitional year where everything got shut down, new company took over, had to build everything back up, and now we're at the point where we can get the organized play going. But rather than waste another 3 or 4 months of trying to get all those things behind the scenes, get the new rules out, and then have people trying to build their decks and learn the tweaks to the new rules, if there are many, we're just going to let people play and get the fun going again this year. And then next year, as I had mentioned earlier, that'll be when we'll be working in super early 2026 to roll out the new judge program again. So we have officially sanctioned judges available at all the events. This year, it's just let's get out and have fun and get things going again year.
Well, we know that when we took over the game, we had promised that we would try to get organized play done in 2025. And so even though we don't have all our ducks in a row as we want, like we had
regarding the judging,
regarding the judging and everything else, we committed to wanting to start organized play this year, and we need to get people. We want to have a championship. We want to celebrate the game and celebrate invasions, and so even though we haven't gotten everything accomplished that we had wanted to, we're still committed to gameplay and having fun, and we want to see everyone and have a world championship. So get out there and play.
Then Ian, you had asked about a specific card, the Bellum Sword, for example. Tonight on this live stream, I don't know offhand. I'm not familiar with that card just off memory. Right now, I'm kind of in president mode, not so much game player rules mode. So, but I will review that question, and sometime in the next day or two, I will get an answer to that out as quick as I can. Let me know in the comments, Ian, if you're still reading and watching. Do you mainly follow us on Discord, on Facebook, YouTube? Because I can put a comment on this video. I can put a comment on Facebook or Discord to try and get you that answer. So I got a question for the chat. I'm very curious. Discord mostly. Okay, I will make sure that I put it in the Discord. I got a question for the chat because we've got a good amount of people watching. I'd just love to know, out of curiosity, who do you all think is going to be the champion that wins the next World Championship? what champion will be the deck that wins it all in November this year. I got to know. Who basically, who do you think's the most competitive, maybe, champion?
I thought you weren't going to ask which player. That's what I was thinking when you said champion, and I'm like, no, you mean like Sarah or Satir or Harlequin.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah. Damien. Wait. Damien said Damien. Ian said Damien. Wait, I think you guys misunderstood.
See? I wasn't the only one. Ha! You give me the side eye look.
Gamilla. Sam with the interesting answer. Gamilla would be wild to see.
I don't know if she's got enough.
I don't think she's broken yet. I think she could be completely broken and somebody hasn't really found her ultimate deck yet.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say it's not possible, that's for sure. Malik, Jeremy with the classic.
I don't know. I think Harlequin could come up with some pretty good, with the pock spreader.
I do like Harlequin as a possibility. I agree with you because she can go pretty wild with the pock spreaders and clog up the board. Who else? Everybody knows my favorite champion is Sarah, but I'll pick Sarah as my bet. I'm going to bet now that Sarah's going to win the championship just because I'm loyal to a fault. But
I like Satir because I love my fired.
Is that who you would bet on, though? Or?
No, because I get crushed.
Yeah.
But I still think Satir.
Somebody's agreeing with you in the chat, though. So maybe you're not totally crazy.
Yeah, Idris is with that teleporting attack is paining.
Yeah.
This is what makes Genesis so unique, is that each champion has they have such strengths, and that it's, not just an outright, this deck's gonna win, and whoever plays it the best is gonna,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very diverse gameplay.
Yeah.
Depending on who you're playing as.
Yeah.
For sure. Idris is a good bet. Yeah. That fireball hits anywhere in the arena. That's a good thing. Who else do I think? I know my good friend Brian would probably love to see Tashir win.
Oh, poor Brian. He doesn't win really often.
Oh, yeah. Don't say that on camera.
He knows.
But everybody else doesn't need to know that.
Well, then he's just going to come out and just shock the pants off.
That's it. I'm changing my pick. Brian is going to win the world championship piloting Tashir. And I have to say that on the record so that, he doesn't get mad at me because of what she said. So that's it. I'm calling it now.
Get mad at me. No.
All right. So let's see. Any other questions tonight, folks? If you want to know anything else, let me know. Otherwise, I might go eat some dinner. Dun, dun, dun.
Dinner.
What did you have for dinner? You ate, didn't you?
Sam and I had tots and eggs.
Nice. That's cool. Yummy.
It's a consistent dinner in our house right now.
Mm-hmm.
Tater tots. And
Sam's going to find out what Gamilla's OP deck is. That's the way, Sam. I love it.
Sam loves Gamilla.
Yep, for sure.
She handed it to me yesterday.
I was impressed by that.
I didn't get any of my Lava Riders and only one of my dash guy.
That would be Inferno Crawler, right? With the double
yeah.
dash? Yeah.
You know what he reminds me of is the Ghostbusters guy. In the Ghostbusters 1, the two dogs at the very end.
Oh, like Zool?
Yeah. He reminds me of Zool.
I see. Interesting. Yeah. Card that saw a lot of play yesterday between all the people and a lot of discussion at the tables in Mecha Games was Pretty Bird.
Yes, everyone loves the pretty
Yeah,
bird.
some people are very high on the pretty bird. I wouldn't be surprised to see that in some competitive deck lists going forward. So,
And the baboons.
yeah. Yeah, the baboons are cool because they have blitz, the Galata baboons. The downside is they have an action speed attack, so after that first round, they're kind of behind the 8-ball, I feel. That's why I don't play them. But
What else did I see a lot of? The rabbits.
Gargantuan rabbit, the
Yeah,
big one? Yeah,
the
I
big
saw
one.
those do some damage yesterday. Man, I can't wait to see people playing competitive decks again. Oh, I'm excited. This is going to be a great year. I'm super stoked. I'm going to be getting in touch with all the game stores that are on our list in the next couple weeks, and I'm going to be offering to come up and bring the belt with me to do some learn to plays at some stores so that people can see what they could be competing for. So if you want to see the belt in person, ask your local game store to book a learn to play event, and I'll come on to whatever hometown you're in Ontario. We'll come. Yes, we'll come. And we'll bring the belt with us and teach a bunch of people how to play. It's going to be fun. We got things to compete for again. We got new cards coming in the very near future, and all we need is for you to help us spread the word and let people know that Genesis is back, baby. And it's going to be a lot of fun this year.
Well, I was just reading Will. I'm not going to say it because
You're reading what?
Will's comment.
Oh, where is that? Is my phone not? The last one I got is a comment from Sam.
Yeah, yours glitched.
Is that? Oh, I'm missing comments here. Boo Earns! Okay, let me read off your screen. Archon of Vengeance still the most broken. Man, I can't disagree with that because I run Archons of Vengeance in my Sarah
evil.
deck. And I had a lot of fun yesterday with that. Oh, when something dies and it just jumps on up there, oh, that's good. Good stuff. Yep. What happens if we win if we go to multiple store championships and win them?
If you win one, don't go anymore.
I mean, not that we can police that, but here's the thing. If you've already won a store championship, and you go to another store and you finish in the top 4, then you're basically taking away a spot from somebody else because you have to finish in the top 4. And if somebody's on 5th who hasn't qualified and you finish in the top 4, then they're not going to qualify. It's literally the top 4 people. There's no exceptions for that. So no, the invite does not roll down. So yeah, if it did roll down, I worry that if it rolled down, there would be too much possibility for human error for us to forget to invite someone or something. So top 4, every store is going to report to us the results, their top 4, and we'll go from there. That's the rules for this year at least.
Yeah.
So.
We'll have all the standings on our...
Yeah, I'm hoping that we'll also be able to get the upper tier of our organized play software unlocked as well this year, because that would allow us to see all the deck lists that were submitted at all the competitive events. And for the store championships, because you're going to be qualifying for the World Championship event if you're in top 4, the store championship events will be the one event this year for each store where it is mandatory for every player to submit a deck list. So that'll be a thing.
But all of that will come out shortly. No worries, you'll have lots of time to prepare.
Yeah, like we mentioned, there's the promo packs and the store championship mats won't even be able to get to stores until about 2 months from now. But the great thing is you already have access to all the cards that are currently on the market, so you can start playtesting your decks and get some extra games in ahead of time and work on that deck tech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I have to open Odara deck with... Oh.
Yeah. Odara deck with Archons of Vengeance. Sure. It'll be fun. Poor Sam.
Invasions.
I don't think we can let Sam compete for the World Championship. He's our kid.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, Sam. You'll have to play in a smaller event that day. Okay. But Sam could win a store championship if he wanted to go to an event just to try to do it, I guess. But again,
then he'd be.
But then he'd be knocking
someone.
someone. Yeah, so let's not do that. No. Sorry, Sam.
You can play in regular weekly events
Yeah.
and get OP packs.
That's the downside of your parents owning a company. Wow. Sad. Sorry, Sammy. Just wait for the new Odara. Rocket to the top of the meta. All right, here's one last question that I'm going to ask. Which champions from the past would you most love to see in the promo pack so that they're easily accessible again? I'd like to know that, just to make sure if you people want to comment, because just in case one's in the comments that I forgot about. And then, second question, which champion that was spoiled in Metamorphosis would you most love to see come out in the promo pack so you could compete with it this year? It sounds like Will is thinking the new Odara is the one he would want. But if that's not the one he would choose, give me a different answer. That's what I want to know. What champions from the past do you most want to see reprinted in the promo pack so they're easy to find, because maybe you don't have a copy? And what champions from the next set that isn't out yet would you want us to sneak into those promo packs so you can compete with it this year?
Well, Odara's...
Odara and Odara. I like that. That's a good answer. Yeah. Raha too. Yep. Yeah. I can confirm that there is a Raha alternate art for sure, because I've already done that alternate art and it turned out really good.
It looks sick.
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be a while before we'll let those channels I mentioned earlier do some of the spoilers for these alternate arts when it's time. But I'm really excited about the process for the alternate arts, the recoloring and that we're doing. It's really cool. I did say that.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I said it before.
I'm just...
It's not my fault you don't listen to me.
Well, you don't stop talking. Like I can run the new gun.
So if Kayun winds up appearing in the promo packs, then yes, you would be able to run him in the World Championship this year. I can neither confirm nor deny if Kayun is in the new promo pack, so that'll be something that may or may not get spoiled, depending on if that's the case. But of course, the more people who ask about Kayun, then the odds go up for sure, because we are still taking feedback to make sure we get everything that people want.
Within reason.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple cards that just won't see the light of day again for quite a while, but that's neither here nor there for now.
I know, but I just want them to know we might veto something.
Yep, that's always a chance. There might be a reason for it, game design-wise.
Yeah.
All right, folks. I think that's it for me. We are after 9 o'clock, so last call for questions. If you have any more questions you want to ask and get an instant response, now is the time to ask them, because in a couple minutes, my rumbly tumbly is going to have to go get some food.
Sam's going to ask us after the stream.
That's funny. Yeah, Sam, you live here. You can literally ask us questions all night long.
You can walk out of your room and say, hey.
Yeah. Can we get a mini spoiler season? Yeah, a spoiler season for the promo packs? Yeah, there will definitely be spoilers, especially at the two content creators I mentioned earlier. So...
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh, technically, some of the promo cards might already be ready, too, because we've got a graphic designer, great friend. You might know him. I'm a big fan of his. He happens to have this little YouTube show called Imperial Pulls. And this amazing graphic designer is already working. He's got some of the brand new arts. He's got the templates. And he's already working on getting some of the cards that are going to be in the promo packs designed and completed. So, exciting times. Things are actually happening, and we're getting there. And I can't wait.
Exciting.
Yeah. All right, well, I think that's probably it for tonight. Looks like we've answered all the questions that we got. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. It's really great to see you all here in the chat tonight. I don't know exactly when we're going to have our next live stream. Depends on when we have something really exciting to share again, but hopefully... I can almost guarantee it'll be quicker than the wait this time. It was quite a while.
2 months.
Yeah, the development on the video game's going really good. In case anybody watching tonight doesn't know, we have already been approved to be authentic developers on Steam. So we're Edge of Exile Entertainment is officially a video game developer on Steam. We're gonna. Cayenne doesn't work that way, sorry folks. There must have been a question about Cayenne that I missed. So yeah. So the game's going really good. Hopefully, I tried my best to get a playable version down to Mecha Games, and I just couldn't get it done. Too many glitches and stuff, and I didn't want to show off something that wasn't working great. But I did show off while I was there yesterday what's probably going to wind up being the opening cinematic that plays before you hit start to actually enter the game. And that seemed to be really well received. Graphics are really good. Developing it in Unreal Engine 5. It's a very impressive game design engine. So
it looks great.
Yeah, so I'm really happy.
And you have
with
the
that.
tutorial done.
Yeah, it's mostly done.
Mostly done.
Yeah, it's not fully done, but a lot of the tutorial is already done on what I'll teach people how to play. And yeah, so the cool thing, and I guess the bad thing about Unreal Engine is it can do so much amazing stuff that every time I finish one aspect of the game, while I'm doing it, I discover it can do something else that's even more cool. And then I'm like, oh, I got to add this to the game. So just because I love it, and I'm so impressed by how powerful the engine is. So the game's going to be really cool when it comes out. A couple months from now, people will be able to log in and play with their friends all around the world, play Genesis for free online thanks to Steam. So that's my update on that. And with that being said, that's all for tonight, folks.
Stay safe.
Yep, that's right. That's my line.
What is the end of it?
Take care. Stay safe out there. Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.